I speak to you from the depth beneath your feet. I, too, have a heart chakra, a center, and you can envision this heart center to be in the middle of my physical body, the planet. Travel there in your mind, descend down into the earth, into my center, and make an energetic, conscious connection with it, because at its core, my heart is not primarily material, but spiritual. As humans, we have been blind to our true essence. We share the belief that we are our ego consciousness and our body. From within the limitations of ego consciousness, which we have imposed upon ourselves, we cannot expand our awareness to the greater consciousness that we participate in. This greater consciousness is inviting us into awareness of it. In our essence, we are fractals of infinite consciousness. We encompass the cosmos within our true being. Although many think I repeat this many times, I will never get tired of repeating it. The joy of being able to be here again, speaking to all of you. The moment is different, very different from those moments when I preached on top of a hill. Everything is very different now. But today what I say is heard. It is understood by many at least. Unfortunately, a large portion still doubts my words, still doubts that I can speak through any human. They look at this human as a sinner, as someone who would never deserve such glory. I repeat again, the moment is now different. The moment is one of transformation and evolution. We need voices, and we have found our voices. Just as your heart's a part of your soul, your good self, my heart is also not only physical, it is part of my soul. Feel my heart, feel my love for life. I enjoy everything in life that buds, goes through life processes, grows, and finally dies physically. Life is a grand dance, and that dance is elegant and beautiful. In this dance is harmony and logic. Each one of you is meant to dance, although sometimes the movements you make are uncomfortable or painful. But not everything that has a blocking effect comes from outside you. You also have a history. You are older than this current physical life. You carry a legacy with you. Your soul has a depth that you still do not comprehend. So much remains hidden from you of the grandeur and mystery of your soul. Thus, you cannot know everything, but you can surrender and give yourself over to the movement of your soul. Infinite consciousness conveys feelings and stimulations beyond our current experience. When we open our awareness to them, we can realize that our human reality is an expression of a much greater being of infinite consciousness. Out of this consciousness, we arise as personal expressions. Our being is the source of all conscious life everywhere, and we are the creators of everything we experience. For eons, humans have lived within the limitations of empirical duality, not realizing that this is all imagined within our consciousness. Without our conscious life force, which we convey through our energetic alignment in our awareness, it could not exist. The reality of the world that we have experienced depends upon our recognition and energetic alignment. It all takes place in our imagination, and we can change the quality of it with our intentions. We are imagining the world of human experience. It consists of patterns of electromagnetic waves that we perceive in our subconscious awareness as the empirical world. We have inherited this and learned it from one another. There is no judgment on our part. There is no type of privilege in relation to who we choose. Each soul has its path, has its missions, and certainly, each one we choose to be our voices. At some point already had this gift, this function of teaching, of passing on knowledge. Do not look at these people with envy or any kind of feeling that will emanate an opposite energy for them, because they are as human as you are. There are no privileges. There is nothing that makes them different from others, just the soul mission agreed upon a long time ago. Today, these people are just fulfilling something they promised, something they agreed with us, and we don't see the journey. We don't judge the journey of the soul. Because if we did, we wouldn't have anyone who could be our voice. Because all souls who lived within the third dimension made mistakes. Serious mistakes, simple mistakes, walk the road of non-light sometimes, but we don't judge them. Your soul sometimes wants you to deal with negativity that comes both from without and within. There might still reside in you old baggage, consisting of emotional pain, misunderstanding, confusion that your soul intends should come to the forefront in this lifetime. And these encounters may go against your personal desire for light and for a productive, pleasant, and enjoyable life. The purpose of encountering negativity cannot be comprehended by the earthly personality or by the mind. Or so it seems, because that purpose is difficult to understand in that way. Therefore, you are asked to open to a deep level of surrender in order to come to terms with that negativity. And I ask you to do this now. I encourage you to feel that negativity from the perspective of my heart, my center. Because we have believed that we can be intimidated and terminated, we could not believe in infinite awareness. If we desire to realize our greater self, we are guided from within, transcending our limiting beliefs. We can realize that every thought and feeling is important because it reflects back to us in our experience. We have made ourselves as we are, and we can transform our current state of being in alignment with our higher guidance. Our inner guidance is what we know and feel in our essence, which is universal consciousness. It has the vibratory quality of the enhancement of life, including the greatest love, joy, and abundance. The human ego cannot imagine this as our reality, but the ego consciousness can be transcended by gratitude with inner knowing and feeling. We are coming into realization of our eternal, infinite presence of awareness, with the ability to create whatever we desire. The moment is pressing, the moment is urgent. It is clear that each of these souls is perhaps suffering a much more difficult journey than the others. Because they have this mission, they need to rise, they need to evolve. And all the cleaning, the structure, the evolution is being carried out by us, and don't think it's being easy. For the most part, the channels on this planet will continue to be our voices for a long time yet, but they will need to broaden the spectrum as far as they reach. And for that we have to take care of them with great affection and care, so that they are not affected by the negative wave that is on the outside. All are exposed, all are targets, but all have our protection. However, they have their own journeys of evolution and learning. And it hasn't been easy, I repeat. The journey for them has been very complex, demanding, tiring, often exhausting. But this is necessary because they need to evolve and move faster than the others. They need to stand out from the rest so that they can effectively be our voices. My sons and daughters, we are not here playing. We are not here passing on messages. There is a context, there is the moment, and each moment is a moment. Many are awakening, and we need to attract them to the light, to our teachings. And this is what we have done. I see much pain and suffering in and on the earth, yet there is a part of me that is not affected by that suffering. There is this part of me that simply witnesses it with a gentleness and deep acceptance, which understands that there is a logic in everything that happens, without asking you to grasp this logic with your mind. I encourage you to feel the energy of my heart center. Feel that this energy also creates a space for the suffering and for all that is dark and seems incomprehensible. I am very deeply involved with you, and I do not dismiss the suffering of humanity, as well as that of the animals, plants, and rocks. Everything that lives on Earth is sensitive to vibration, to energy. Fear, distrust, hatred, loneliness are vibrations that deeply affect me and all life. Yet there is something in me that transcends these vibrations. I am your mother. By connecting with that part in me which looks with compassion at suffering and grief, you strengthen that part of me and of yourself. You then literally begin to channel, to become a conduit. Your heart opens to the large flow of compassion that exists in the universe. Not only my compassion, but also that of many other beings. If you are a part of that compassionate stream, you stay connected with it. You do not turn away from what there is on earth, the light and the dark. You do not try to flee from what is here, and your heart remains open. Many will arrive avid, pressing for a response or several. Thirsty for wisdom, thirsty for understanding, and it will be these voices that represent our voices that will guide the brothers who are arriving. No, no one will be a shepherd. We will be the shepherds. The channels are just our voice. They do not have the mission to attract or teach anyone anything. This is not their mission. The mission is ours through them. Each one of them can follow their path as they choose. They can help their brothers as they choose, and we will always be close, guiding and helping. So for those of you coming in now who don't quite understand what's going on, I would say just listen. But listen without judgment. Listen with your heart. Just listen to our voice, and you will be able to understand and understand us. For those who are already tired of hearing what we say, just don't listen. If you think you are ready and fully understood about everything, congratulations, go on your lonely walk. We don't demand that you listen to us. We don't demand that you be true to our words. We don't oblige anyone. Just what is important is that when you listen to what we say, that it is with the heart, not with the ego, not with the mind. Because both can easily deceive you and take you out of the way, exactly making them understand. This you already know. You don't need to hear more. This is the ego speaking, because if you knew everything, if you had learned everything, you would no longer be in the third dimension. You would already be evolved. That is your deepest, your greatest gift, remaining here, being present. And not judging, but making your heart ever more open and expanded so that you can understand why people, and why you as well, do things that go against life. A consciousness that can understand this and hold on to this understanding can break down barriers and remove blockages solely by way of compassion, by way of a deeply felt empathy. Doing this makes you strong, and make no mistake, love is a strong force. Being open to negativity, to pain and suffering, does not mean that you drown in it. It is the power of love that allows it to keep its distance and to rise above the suffering. Yet love's wings always touch the earth and other people. We don't force anyone to listen to us. Listen to whoever wants to. But let this hearing be from the heart, because in any other way, you won't understand. You won't understand, and you'll get tired of listening to what we say. Be aware, the ego still speaks. The ego still operates in most of your minds. Leave him in control and you'll lose the way. But as we always say, each with their choice. To close this message of mine today, I will leave some guidelines. Listen to everything with your heart. but listen when your heart asks. Don't listen out of obligation or because you think you have to listen. Seek your own evolution. Seek your own understanding. Do not depend on others. You think you are weak, unintelligent about some things in your world, and you throw your inability to overcome that obstacle on top of the other. Is that right? You judge, you criticize. The mistake is never yours. The inability is never yours, so you throw it into the other's lap. Why? Everything is accessible to everyone. You just need to want to learn. But the ease of throwing the problem onto the other's lap is greater, so you do it and stay in that rhetoric. Oh, I don't know how to do it. Oh, I can't. This is complicated for me. It is a very calm rhetoric, as it justifies the unwillingness to overcome what you do not know, but which you could learn and know. Is this how you want to walk into the fifth dimension? Continuing in dependency, let the other solve obstacles, your problems. I ask of you that you become an angel on earth, and I know you can be that. Every living being on earth is working to complete its own dance, one that is perfectly suited to their unique nature, and you have your own particular dance. For you, there is always the next step that suits your life and is in line with who you are now. Feel that for a moment. Are you willing to take this step even if you do not know what it is that is asked of you? Are you ready to take the next step to opening your heart and to healing the old pain? You do not need to know how that will happen. You do not need to be able to fathom the depth of your soul in order to take that next step. It comes through trust. Feel that it is good to do so. That is what I ask of you, not to save the world, but to take that one step, your next step. That is what fits right in with the rhythm and the path of development of the earth as a whole, with this whole sphere of being. We do it together. If each individual being completes their dance, then doing that brings the greatest gift to the whole.